On the floor. Floor, I love to dance, so give me more. More till I can't stand, get on the floor. Floor like it's your last chance if you want more. More than here I am.
Oh shoot, hold on. Hello! Gotta get my popcorn. Okay, so yeah, I know I said I wasn't gonna react to anything, but I feel like it's necessary to react to a few things because I was like, you know what, everyone is saying that Mr. Cardigan's fair, he does really good research. I'll get to that in a minute. He does really good documentaries. Number one, Mr. Cardigan, you say that I'm not a very good YouTuber. What about you? What about you making clout, making a following off of the haters and off of the same two women with eating disorders? What about that? So here's the thing. Mr. Cardigan has proven himself in this part one to be nothing more than a glorified hater with better editing skills. Because let's face it, referencing his credible research is referencing Michael B. Sweaty and Mana See You Next Tuesday on Kiwi Farms, okay? Kiwi Farms is a vile, racist hate forum, all right? Number one, you're not saying anything that that hundreds of thousands of people have not already seen or said. You're talking about things that happened literally 20 years ago or 6 years ago, things that I've already addressed, so you're beating the dead horse to the point of it being pulp at this point. But I want to go over a few of those things that make me a vile person. Number one thing that gets to me every time is putting my sister in the dryer. Listen, this Kathy friend of mine suddenly turned against me, okay? And she's psychotic. I could show you emails, messages I've had. Hi, everybody. She's harassed other people like this. You didn't do your research well enough. You just take her word for it. She is vile. She is a stalker. She is insane, psychotic, okay? I've been her friend for a while. You did not see the emails that she sent to me. Are you going to show those emails that she sent to me first? Harassing me every single day, saying the most vile things. She hung out at my house when I was with my sister maybe 2 times. Like, barely ever. So I don't know how she's a credible source of information for my past. I never put my sister in a dryer. Prove it. I never told her she can't sit with us. Prove it. I never, ever treated her badly. So that's one person that you say I treat badly in my life that you can scratch off your list. Compared to a lot of civil rivalries I've seen in my life, mine was pretty good. Maybe she's annoyed me a few times. I was 11. Again, if you want to go back over 20 years, that's your prerogative. I don't know why people are so obsessed. If a documentary needs to be made, it needs to be the level of obsession with my past as a child. This Kathy person said my dad ran. Like as if that it's my fault as a 2-year-old that my dad left. Are you serious? I know the tone already for this stupid, idiotic series. Again, I don't live in my past. If you have something relevant to say in the recent year, go for it. I know it's going to be the scandal with Salah. Whatever. We've already worked it out. We have a right to do that. It's our marriage. Hi, Teardrop! That person went on Kiwi Farms as a friend, made up insane lies about me, which there's no proof of. She was vile. She used to have a crush on Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold from the Columbine shootings, all right? She used to worship them, okay? So before you use her as your credible source of information to dictate my morality growing up, maybe research her first, all right? Because I can go over the disgusting crap she did. She did some very nasty stuff to her sister, and her sister was a teenager and she was a teenager. So don't even go there, all right? I'm not gonna go there because she's whatever, but she's literally insane. Like she also lied about me sleeping with everyone's boyfriends. No, she did that. She did that. I was seeing somebody and behind my back, she did something with somebody else. Anyway, I don't want to get into that, but she was the one. She's a liar, basically. Not credible source of information, all right? What else? Oh yeah, the cheese graveyard. Oh yeah, I'm such a bad person for that because I was talking about a true crime, you know, like Stephanie Sue does in all of her videos and she has millions of subscribers. I don't know. Like what? Because I was eating cheese on Halloween, a cheese graveyard, and I wasn't disrespectful. I was talking very calmly. I didn't say, haha, those people are dead. Did I say that? No, I didn't. So how am I being disrespectful? You're listening to a literal hater. It's so stupid. Number two, I showed dead bodies. They were covered in a sheet. I was showing the Nikes. And I'm sorry, but those people were part of a cult where that was what they wanted to do. So, I mean, something that happened so many years ago. I'm sorry, but I don't think it's too soon to talk about that. Yeah, it was a lot of cheese, but come on. Whatever. Like, again, going over things that were so long ago. Like, what the heck? People are allowed to change. People are allowed to be different. Saying that I treat everyone in my life poorly? Like who? Pete's? Okay, yes, I did cheat on him. We worked it out. We're still good friends. So if he doesn't have a problem with it anymore, why should, like, random strangers? You don't know the dynamic of our relationship. You don't know the circumstances of everything. Even going far back as saying I threw a chair out of jealousy. Who cares? How does that, like, how did I do anything different than a lot of people? You know, I'm just trying to like point out where they're liars. They're complete liars. There's 5,000 people, about 5,000 haters. I get it. They're all the same people that have been hating on me forever, you know? People in the chat I see are like, oh, you said some vile things to me in Cuba Rage. Yeah, but what about what you said to me? I always defend myself. I don't just go off on people for no reason. If you've come in here and you've said some really nasty things to me and I've been nasty back, it's not preferable, it's not good, but yeah, I'm human, okay? And I've been pushed to limits, sometimes where I've said things I don't really like. I saw a lie and people believe it, and that's why they don't like me, okay? But like saying, for example, that I abandoned my grandmother when she was dying. I and my mother, I've said this a million times, we were the only ones there out of the entire family holding her hand to her last breath. So how did I abandon her? Never happened. Fake lies. Pretty set these. Another thing is that we like to treat our audience like crap for not supporting us when we fail on diet. No, what we don't like is the fact that there's been a long journey with this where we didn't really recognize all the time that we had eating disorders. For a long time, I just thought I was like overeating. I didn't even really understand what I had as an eating disorder at the beginning of my YouTube. And I failed diets a lot, yeah. But what I would be defensive about is people coming in and fat shaming me and putting me down for not doing well on my diet. So that's what I was addressing. I would address the shaming of people coming in and saying, you're such a failure, we know it. And then you're gonna say I'm a bad person for defending myself against that kind of behavior, abusive behavior towards myself, of me saying, well, too bad if you don't like it, you know, get out of here. Well, it's true, you know, just because I put it out on the internet doesn't mean I have to accept your abuse towards me over and over again and not ever say anything about it. And it's just so stupid. Like, I don't know. You can be more popular than me, I don't care, but the fact that you do the same documentaries people have done a million times on Amber Lynn and I, it just makes you another stupid hater with nothing new to say. So congratulations. So those are all falsehoods. What else? I'm disgusted. Oh, I farted. Sorry. Nobody ever passes wind, I guess, right? Okay. I mean, again, that's something that you're gonna like be grossed out over me passing wind 6 years ago, or telling a story. The story about the other two people. Let me tell you about that story time. They invited me. I was in Cornwall. They were in Ottawa. They paid a cab for me, and they were really nice to me on the chat and everything. They saw my picture, everything, okay? They saw what I was like. They paid for me 120 to 150 bucks for me to taxi to them, and then to me to get all the way there, and they treat me like they're snobby towards me. Obviously, I'm gonna feel a certain way about that, and I was totally normal. I didn't pass wind. I didn't act gross. I acted normal. I was actually kind of shy. We were listening to music and everything like that, and then they like bought me a bunch of alcohol, like a ton of alcohol, shots, beer. At first, it was okay a bit. Then near the end of the night, that's when things started getting, you know, and they had no plumbing. Like, I didn't know that. Their toilet had no plumbing. They had no water. They had no toilet paper. They had no what am I supposed to do? Like, am I villainized for not being able to hold in my bodily functions? Please. I mean, what the heck? I don't get it. I don't get the obsession with these things. These story times from years ago. This is like, well, why, what's the big deal? I don't get it. Oh my gosh. And yeah, an article was done about the cheese graveyard, but they didn't take a stance on it. They wanted my opinion. You know what? I bet part 2 is gonna be victim shaming, because I can tell the tone. He's just listening to haters as his credible sources of information. Please, it's all crap. She can't change and won't. And like, do you think you're a good person by coming in and telling somebody that they can't change? I've made a lot of changes, and you're not the dictator of morality in my life. I'm sorry to tell you. It's years ago, literally. And like, oh my gosh. The thing with Pete's, like maybe 17 years ago that happened? So I'm not allowed to change and be a better person and make mistakes? Please, get a life. I'm allowed to address things if I want, you know? No, it's not my own words. It's not my own words, that's the thing. He didn't use my own words. Like, some of the stuff, yeah, but what's the big deal? Like, what's the inference you're taking from me telling a story time that happened 17 years ago? That's not even the same person anymore. And then making up things from this hater former friend who made up all these lies about me. Where's your proof? Using kiwi farms as a credible source of information from people who literally hate my guts? You don't think that they have lies to tell? Come on, please. And then the irony is that you're gonna sit there and call out my lies in a documentary, which I haven't seen any yet, by the way. I haven't seen any yet. So, especially this Kathy friend, she was horrible. She was harassing me every day. I'm pretty sure I put her emails out there too. Of course no one's gonna show that. No, of course not. Threatening CPS on her? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. And I'm pretty sure I apologized for that a long time ago. I never did it. I didn't think that she should be in raising children because of her level of morality. Imagine sitting around being a hateful harasser and your kids are privy to this. Same thing with some of the reaction channels. Saying the most disgusting things, fat shaming the same fat women online, and raising children. What kind of children are you gonna raise? Bullies? Hello? She just was like so horrible to me, and I was just like pushed to a point where I'm like, you know, I never called them on her. I never did that. Where's my words, Tiny Puff, that I wasn't there for my grandmother? Where's my words that I put my sister in the dryer and treated her horribly? Where's my words on that? Can you tell me? No, you can't. No, they're not from my mouth. My story times? Yeah, sure. But so what? How does my story times make me a bad person? That I had to use the washroom and there was nothing to clean up with. The things that he's saying make me a horrible person are things that haters went over a million times that are not like the cheese graveyard. That was so long ago. And no, I'm sorry. I don't regret that. I don't regret that at all, because I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I'm telling a story about a dumb cult who did some really dumb things. To me, I thought it was ridiculous. Like, you know, and I was just pointing out the story. I wasn't saying, oh my gosh, it's so funny they're dead, you know? People do true crime and mukbangs all the time, but because it's me, I get singled out. Don't even deny it. So how are you gonna sit there and now hate on it when you guys all love the entertainment from it? Yeah, they said I put my sister in the dryer. Yeah, he spent a few minutes talking about that with no proof at all. I apparently, you know, treated the cult was manipulative. Yeah, well, so, like, I'm still allowed to talk about it. It doesn't mean, like, I'm being disrespectful by talking about something that happened so many years ago. And, like, I don't know. It's so weird that people were so offended by that. People are so offended by anything I talk about. What were they offended about recently that was such a stretch? Oh yeah, I apparently was laughing at the, when I was telling the true crime story I recently did, even though I was just laughing at the name Schneeberger. And again, you're gonna like say, oh, she's disgusting. Like this kind of outrage is what I'm talking about. No, I never bought subs. Prove it. I never did. Not once. I could show you my bank statements. Unfortunately, your words and actions. No, Tiny Puff. No, it's the lies being told and the twisting and the outrage because people make money off of that. I'm a very normal person with a past like everyone else, and I'm a different person now. I don't do those outrageous things that I've done. Everyone's done outrageous things in their past, maybe even worse than some of the story times I've told. And if I was so ashamed of the things I did in my past, I acknowledge them. I own them. You know, I don't hide from them. I've shared them with everybody. Saying that I put my sister in the dryer is a pretty big accusation with no proof. No proof. Why don't I apologize for my wrongdoings? Like what? Like what? I'm pretty sure I have. It doesn't matter. People don't want an apology, Blue Pot. People want to keep villainizing me. It's lucrative for them. That's what they want to do. So I'm just gonna live my life, whatever, keep beating the dead horse with my past. 6 years ago, it doesn't matter. Literally, I've grown. I'm not that person. Yes, I'm still fat and I have problems with food. That doesn't make you a bad person. Being defensive when people come at you doesn't make you a bad person. How is my past vile, Susan? Like what? And yes, a lot of people do have a worse vile past, including people who react to me. So even if I did, I'm not going to apologize for what? For farting on camera? Like, what the heck? For telling a story that was so long ago? Like, I don't get it. That's just so stupid. I find it just so dumb. No, Ren, I'm pissed because it's not true. Get it right. You can think I bought subs. I don't care. I didn't, and that's all I'm going to say. If you can prove it, fine. You can't. You know why? Because it didn't happen. Just like the dryer incident, it didn't happen. But I've proved myself a lot with things. I've had receipts about my medical records that I've been in outpatient care. I showed a lot of receipts in my life. Do they get ignored? Yes. Don't raise your blood pressure. No, I find it laughable that these people just keep beating the dead horse with the same stupid things that I've already addressed. Oh, I'm such a bad person over things that are not even true. I never ever did that. A lot of those things. And like, I don't know. Or who I went to bed with in my past. So long ago. Why does that matter? So you're going to take you're going to believe somebody saying that I laughed like I did all these bad things, which are all lies. She said all lies. Somebody who idolized Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. Gotcha. Yep, I know I've changed. I don't need to prove it to anybody. I've never done anything like that to my sister. Never. And I think she was jealous of. You can think all you want. It doesn't make it true. You know, I said maybe like it was a bit hard to go from a single child to having, but my mother never ignored me, even though I had a sister, you know? So how credible and how genuine are these documentaries going to be? They're crap. They're not documentaries. If I'm such a bad person and my content's crap, but you make multi-series for hours on end about me? Okay. Got it. Yeah, Mr. Snowflake puts his kids in the dryer. You put your one of your relatives in the dryer. Somebody told me that. It was Jimmy. Sheep, exactly. Let's chill out and fart together. I mean, so what? Like, yes, at one point when I started YouTube, I was talking a lot about and saying that BB never looked comfortable on camera because he didn't want to be on camera. Ever. People are always like, oh, he didn't love you. He didn't love you. We were together 7 years, and I broke up with him. So how did he escape? He would have never left. Never. We grew apart. There was no, I fell out of love. That's plain and simple how it was. Do I regret cheating? Yeah. And I've said that a million times. I live with guilt from that all the time. No, I'm not raging, but thanks for the $5. Showing a clip of me saying, his TV is too loud? Yeah, it was. I'm trying to work and earn money for us, and he doesn't even have the decency to turn the volume down on his game or his video he's been watching for hours. So I have a right to be annoyed. I'm trying to earn money on my video. That would be like me going to his workplace and blaring TV so he can't concentrate. So stupid. Imagine the time and effort Mr. Snowflake spent on his bullying and applied it to someone more productive. Seriously, he's like, oh, he's trying to be fair. He's sitting in a gray background trying to be a soft white underbelly. Get a life. You're listening to haters as your source of information. Please. And you got a lot wrong, by the way. No, I don't want him here defending me at all. Thank you. I don't get all the effort and time spent on something that's just like what? I don't get it. Stuff that's happened so long ago. People always say, Karate Joe, you supported Karate Joe. Until I found out what he was like. And then he did not make another appearance in my chat. Prove it. Never. Not once. He was blocked that day. So no, I don't. Anyway, so much hypocrisy, so many lies. It's all BS. You can enjoy whatever you want. You guys can still try to beat up on somebody who doesn't even exist anymore if that's what you want to do with your entertainment. Salivating over. Imagine your only goal in life right now, your entertainment, you get popcorn for, you sit down in your PJs, is to see someone rage. What kind of life are you living? Don't come for me because that's not what I'm into at all. And that right there makes me a better person than all of those 5,000 people who just, again, beat the dead horse over and over and over. I saw a reaction channel who's supposedly Muslim in there. Nice Muslim you are, gossiping and backbiting on another Muslim. Gotcha. So don't ever come for my morality. Ever. No, it's not all in my words, oh hell no. My story times, sure. But he did a lot of talking, crap, and using reference people who made up lies about me. Like Kathy, like Michael B. Sweaty. Please, are you gonna really? Oh yeah, and boozing, blackfacing. That's okay though, that was swept right under the rug. Shannon? Modded once again by FFG, swept right under the rug. Everything is swept under the rug unless it's me. And a lot of Islamophobic people in your chat. I'm so jealous of your chat, Mr. Cardigan. Mary Ham, Islamophobic people, disgusting people in there. No thanks. You can stay over there. I would not trade my audience, 500 people. If I'm not on camera, sometimes less. I wouldn't trade. I would rather have 50 than 5,000 disgusting people. So yeah, that's not my words at all. Michael B. Sweaty, you're gonna take the moral high ground? You were a hate channel. You were a proud hater. You've made fat-shamed Amber Lynn for years, saying her hands are disgusting and bloated. You said some vile things about her. What did she do to you? Fail on her diet? Get a life. No one's gonna take moral lessons from you. Whatever. Thanks for the super chat. We were supporting each other, so whatever. She literally sat for 4 hours on live trying to figure out if you had photoshopped your photo. Yeah, this is a Muslim, devout Muslim person talking about my morality and my being Muslim and all these other things. Please. And I can prove, I can put on my community post where I messaged YouTube because I was concerned about my channel growing. And they were like, oh, don't worry about it. You know, it's not possible for someone to buy you subs. It's probably just, if it's bots or something, YouTube will just clear them out. I checked Salah's bank statements because I was like, did you buy me subs? No. He showed me. No. These are like legit people who believe just whatever these people say. If you knew how Kathy was, like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Horrible person. Karate Joe was a mod in my channel for a long time. And then one day he was doxxed. It was found out that he was a registered sex offender. Yes, like I supported him when he was a mod for a long time. I didn't know who he was. He was just a name in my chat. I didn't know about his past. So you can't put that on me, you know? All I knew, he was really loyal. He was obsessed with Oreos and Big Mac sauce. So I don't know what else. He's trying to be like soft white underbelly or something with his stupid cardigan sweater. How no, I wasn't racist. Oh, please. How? How was I racist? My gosh. I don't care if no one believes. Who? The 5,000 haters that hate no matter what I do don't believe I'm Muslim? I don't care. What grounds do you have to say I'm not Muslim? Who in the right mind has the right to say that somebody doesn't believe in something? That's ridiculous. You're a lost cause. I don't even have words for you. I'm not going to entertain any more of this crap. I know part 2 is just going to be all about Natturd and it's going to be all about probably victim shaming. You know what, Mr. Cardigan? Unless you're in an abusive relationship with an abusive narcissist, you can can it. And doo-doo, you can can it too because you're going to act like we don't have video evidence of him smacking you around, you stupid idiot. Seriously. Literal video evidence. Okay. You're gonna say I was manipulative? He's the king of manipulators. Any narcissist abuser is, okay? And I fell in the trap, sure, whatever. But looking back now, oh boy. Oh, well, you should have kept the charges on him or it didn't happen. Okay, go look up statistically how many abused women drop charges. When you have feelings for someone at the time and they make you feel bad, did you hear anything he would say to me? Anything he said to me? No, you didn't. You never heard him trying to get in my good graces or like try to say, oh, I love you, blah, 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 to try to, you know what I mean? He was very manipulative and going from having somebody like BB to that, what the heck? I had no experiences with people like this. And then when I heard the Sam's Bar Lounge videos, I was like, okay, it's confirmed. I'm going to bat for you. I went to hell for this guy and he was lying to me the whole time and I was putting up with his abuse and everything. Goodbye. People thinking I miss that loser. Do I ever talk about him? Do I ever, you know, never. I never even think about him unless it's brought up by people like reaction channels who want to bring up that traumatic part of my life. I felt bad for Dee Dee, and a part of me does, honestly, because I know what he's like. But at this point, she doesn't even feel bad for herself. I think she's just like him, like in a lot of ways. I don't know. She's a strange one, I'll tell you. When I had feelings for that gremlin, I was disillusioned, and now that I have that veil taken off, I'm dealing with a lot of trauma. And I know you hate me, and I know you don't believe me, but I am. I deal with a lot of trauma about what happened. If someone goes to lovingly put their hand on my face, I flinch. But everything he did to her in that video, I don't like watching that video because he did the same to me. Another thing I want to bring up is people like to quote when I said, I think it was in Cuba Rage, I'm gonna manipulate you and you're gonna eat it up. I was quoting a hater in chat. Somebody would always say she's gonna manipulate us because, you know, whatever. So I would say that. I was quoting exactly what they said. So that was that. I wanted to bring that up. I know I said that before, but I don't know how I would manipulate people. I always was genuine about how I'm feeling, whether I was on a diet, not on a diet. Yeah, those were my true intentions at the time. I didn't have an intention of turning and making people like, you know, using their emotions in that sense. You know what I mean? If people take it so seriously, there's something wrong with them, not you. Yeah. When you're riding in an Uber and you feel something itchy, gonorrhea. Gonorrhea!